Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? How we doing? Welcome to the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel. I'm your host, as always, Dale, and today we're going to be talking a little horror. I'm really excited to get into it. And, just talk a whole bunch of crazy-ish. Whole lot to get into, a whole lot of updates. So whatever you want to talk about, you just throw it out there, baby. We've been posting update videos left and right, a whole bunch of exciting stuff going out about horror. So much I'm drawing a blank. We got all this talk about Obsession 2, which is crazy. We had like little tiny updates for some of the bigger franchises today, talking a little bit about Scream 8, Saw 11, Terrifier 4. A whole bunch of crazy stuff is going on in the world. So just let us know. Let us know the thing that you're the most excited about, and hopefully we'll get to it. We're live. It's a Tuesday night, and you know what? It's beautiful. Life is beautiful, in fact. And I don't know where I'm going with this. But anyways, we got some great people hanging out with us. What's up, what's up? Jacob Pace Wells saying, hey, Jake, what's up, man? Hope all is well. Thank you so much, Jacob Pace Wells. If you get a chance to interview Matthew Lillard one day, please show him the Stu is Alive song. That's, play it for him. That's my dream come true. Well, hell yeah, dude. I love it. I love it. I've gotten to meet Matthew a few times now, and he's incredibly kind. A very handsome, well-mannered man. Very excited, has a lot of positive energy. You gotta love that about him. But he's a great dude. I'd love to have him on one day. Maybe we'll have a scary FaceTime call, because everyone knows that FaceTime calls are scarier than phone calls. Everyone knows that. Big Daddy Dave, how we doing, dude? Big Daddy Jake, oh yeah. What's up, dude? Welcome in. Currently on the theater, you're in the theater with your large popcorn, cherry Coke, waiting for Obsession to start. Can't wait to see it. Oh my God, Dave. I wish I was you right now. Can I be so honest with you, Dave? If I could erase any movie from my memory and see it for the first time again, it would be Obsession. I'm going to see Passenger in a couple of days here. I'm so serious, dude. I think I'm going to see Obsession right afterwards. I think I'm gonna go see Passenger, do my review, and then go see Obsession, because I'm dying for another hit of that. Oh, it's so good. Enjoy. Have so much fun. I've seen it twice in theaters now. I plan on going 3 times. I can't wait. Oh, it's such a good movie, man. It's so good. That's one I have to buy. I have to own that one. Curry Barker, new household name, without a doubt in my mind. Enjoy. And great order, by the way, at the theater. That's almost exactly what I get, too. Large popcorn, cherry Coke, baby. It goes hard. Killer combination. Paula Fitzhenry, how we doing? What's up, Paula? Hi, hello. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for joining. Erica Stabs for Likes is saying, hey, what's up, Erica? What's up? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a channel member. And thank you for modding and keeping the chat safe. I can't have anything nice in this damn apartment. Okay, there we go. None of my stuff is in order today. I just did a video talking about some more physical media, which I can't show. I'll show you the back of it. Oh, what was that? Who knows what that was? Physical media videos, though, are going up on the second page, if y'all know about all that, if y'all are hip to that. The Killjoy Jake clips page. GullGotha, formerly the gaming page. It's now Killjoy Jake, the sequel. It's Killjoy Jake Bloodlines. It's Killjoy Jake clips. Let's be honest. But check it out. I got some different kinds of videos going up over there, as well as an exclusive original series that is on Vertical. It's a bunch of shorts going through my entire physical media collection. You'll get a new one of those every single Tuesday and Thursday for the foreseeable future. So one is up right now, starting at the very tippy top of my collection with the A Quiet Place movies, and we're gonna talk about whatever's next on Thursday. So stop on by for that. Check out Killjoy Jake clips. Killjoy Jake Part 2. The Reckoning. Brandon the Beldam, how we doing? Do make Killjoy famous. I'm doing my best out here. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Magnificent Logo saying, hello, Jake. You're magnificent. How are you? How are you, dog? Welcome in. I said that because your profile picture's a dog. How we doing? Welcome in. Samantha Robinson, hey, everyone. Yo, Samantha, welcome in. Thanks for joining. I am Lardman. They should call it TERRIFIER. I like that. TERRIFIER. Call Damian Leone. He's going to love that. I don't know if I should... Giwaki? I feel like I shouldn't say that. That's like I'm being tricked into saying something bad. What's up? How are you? Welcome in. Hey, Jake. You're working on a Sri Lankan horror comic. I love it. I love the vibes, dude. Keep being creative. Keep writing. Very good stuff. It's like 80 degrees where I am, says Samantha. I feel it. It's the first day here in Ohio where I feel like I've had to keep the AC on like all day. Because it's scorching. Went outside today and it's hot. I'm sweating my balls off right now. It's no fun. Not a good time. Ilum, thank you for the $2. My 20th birthday is on the 26th next week. Happy very early birthday then. That's very exciting. That's next week. That's coming up. Well, happy 20th. That's really fucking cool, dude. Have so much fun. Get everybody together. Have a crazy party. Go absolutely ballistic. And next year, don't drink too much. Ilum, thank you for the 2. Thanks for the support. I really appreciate that. Happy early birthday. You're gonna be able to go see Backrooms for your birthday too. That's exciting to think about. Backrooms birthday, baby. Get lost in liminal space while trying to celebrate another year around the sun. Allie's hanging out with us. Allie 2014, love you, Jake, and love the channel. Thank you. Just came back from the gym. Gonna clean this bathroom while I listen. Oh, you got a full day. I love it, Allie. I love it. Thank you for the support. Thanks for hanging. I hope the bathroom isn't too gross, because I know when I have to clean my bathroom, I want to throw up in my mouth a little bit. So much love to you, so much support. I hope you make that happen. Very good stuff. Obsession is going to be an annual Halloween watch, says Magnificent Logo. I agree. This would be a great Halloween movie, wouldn't it? Ooh. Totally would be a good... It's got that, like, old school horror feel, I think, about it, in the sense that, like, it's a tale as old as time, a wish gone wrong, you know? And I feel like Halloween is kind of the season where, like, the scary stories, are being told around, a jack-o'-lantern or some shit. It kind of has that energy about it. It's not necessarily, like, a Halloween October movie, but I think it does have, like, that time of year vibe. Like, put it on, watch a scary-ass movie. I agree. No, I totally agree. That is totally a Halloween-ish movie. YB Coraline is saying, saw Obsession this past weekend, and oh my god, even with the spoilers, it was still amazing. And I won't talk too much more about it because I've talked about Obsession. Brett, I'm saying this as I see the next super chat from Brandon, who threw $2 out there saying, Obsession, 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 Obsession. You know what? We can talk about Obsession. I'm not going to complain about that. I love this movie so much. Without spoiling it too much, because I know it's only in, it's technically its second week here, right? I guess is this the first full week, technically? Whatever. Came out of its first weekend, now we're moving into week 2. The thing about Obsession that I love so much is that I think the best parts about it are the things that, like, people wouldn't think to spoil. I don't even know how else to explain that unless you've seen it. There's these scares that, like, the first time I saw it, I wasn't 100% sure what was going on. I'm like, ooh, what's happening here? And then you kind of, like, on second watch, it makes a little more sense. I feel like there's these jumps that happen. They're not jump scares, but these, like, things that happen, like you're like in the middle of something, and then whoa, we get a little thing from Nikki, and it's crazy, and you're like, and again, I think the second time you kind of go through it, you're like, oh, okay, that makes a little more sense now that I understand her situation a little better. But man, there's some great little scares in there, some shit that had me like on the edge of my goddamn seat. Ugh, I love it. It's a great movie. It's so scary. It's a great experience that I feel like you can't just completely spoil for someone, even if you tried. Even if you tried, you're not spoiling that whole thing for someone. So it's great stuff. You definitely gotta check it out if you haven't seen it, man. I could not recommend this movie enough. Favorite movie of the year, favorite for a long time here. Slash Comics, check it out. I absolutely will. I remind you of a friend from childhood. That's so sweet. That's so incredibly sweet. Thanks for being with us tonight. Thank you. And you threw out a better pronunciation of your name, GullGotha. Okay. I still feel like I'm saying something dirty, but but I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for being with us. I'm just being silly. They make Resident Evil remakes and movies, but no new Dino Crisis. Oh man, see, now you're speaking my language, dog. We need more dinosaur horror just in general. Can I be honest? We got that like End of Oak Street movie coming out, which I'm really excited for. But like, I want like a bona fide, terrifying fucking dinosaur movie, man. Like straight up horror. We're not even fucking around with action adventure. Oh no, like this is no Jurassic Park. No. Just straight up a horror movie with dinosaurs. We need that so bad. And I think this End of Oak Street is going to be fun. But I would just love to see some dinosaurs ripping people to shreds. Blood, guts, gore, crazy shit going on. Come on now. A GullGotha means doctor life-giving. Okay, so that's actually a really good word. That's a really good thing. Watch, you're totally gaslighting me right now. You're like, dude, use that word all the time in front of all of your friends and family members. Take it to take it to Christmas dinner and just see what happens. Roll the dice a little bit, you know? No, I'm totally messing with you, dude. I love that though. See, we're all learning something on tonight's stream, and that's what makes these streams so much fun and so damn worth it. Some great stuff. Stefan is with us as well. What's up, Stefan? How we doing, baby? Devil horns. Light it on fire. I don't know why I did that, but Stefan, Obsession rules. Indy Navarrete deserves all the awards. Every single one. Indy Navarrete supremacy. Indy Navarrete sweeps the entire Oscar slate. She gets everything. Best writer, best director, best performance in the male and female category. Yes, I agree. But dude, if she doesn't, seriously though, if she does not get at least a nomination, I'm gonna shit in somebody's mouth. I don't know what else I could possibly do to make up for her not getting a nomination. It would have to happen. I would have to commit an atrocity if she does not get an Oscar nomination. That's where I'm at. That's where I stand with it. I don't know. There's no other solace to this issue. Ben's hanging out with us. Thank you for the $10, my dude. Thank you for the support. I greatly appreciate you. Jake, my best friend, and I will be seeing Obsession tomorrow. Oh, yes! I'm so excited. My second viewing, I can't wait to see his reaction and the wild discussion after the film. I haven't decided if I'm going to see Passenger. Hell yes. Oh, you're taking him to see it for the first time? See, whenever I do shit like that, I'm just watching the other person the whole time. Like, I'm just like, what are they thinking about all this crazy shit? Ugh. One of the best experiences I ever had with that is I took a buddy to see Insidious: The Last Key. Not the best Insidious movie, but it absolutely has some great jump scares in there. Dude, the one where the key demon or whatever comes out of the briefcase, my buddy flew back so bad. Like, dude, this was almost 10 years ago now, and I still remember this to the day. It was so fucking funny. I mean, he jumped, like used his legs to fly back in his seat. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. But I'm so excited, and I hope you have a really good time with Obsession. Have so much fun. I hope your buddy likes it. And what else I will say is Passenger looks like it's going to be good. Passenger is kind of not getting as much heat as it deserves, I think. I think it's kind of being shrouded by two much bigger, highly anticipated releases. So not as much people are really throwing some love towards Passenger's way, but I really think this is going to be good. Like, I have a lot of faith in it, man. It's got a lot of great marketing behind it. I do think it's going to be like a pretty solid release. You know, it's a lot of competition this month. We got a lot of great releases, man. We had Hokum. I enjoyed Mortal Kombat 2. It was fun. It wasn't the best movie of the month or anything like that, but I had a good time with this. What else? Oh my God. Obsession, Backrooms. And then this is June, but it's like a couple weeks from now. Scary Movie 6. I mean, some great movies back to back to back to back. So many good movies. My God. And Passengers kind of fall into the wayside. So go see this movie, guys. I really think it's going to be good. If you haven't seen any of the marketing for it, like, I could not stress enough. Some of the marketing actually really hypes this one up. So, and I don't feel like it gives too much away. Like, I really don't. That initial trailer for it really didn't give too much away. If you haven't seen any marketing for Passenger, give it a little watch. It sounds like it's going to be fun. Ben, thank you for the 10. I greatly appreciate the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We also have Silver Princess hanging, saying Erica is the best mod. Roman is the strongest Ghostface. Everyone sucks but me. Bye, just kidding. Love y'all. I love that. Thank you for the 5. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. Roman is the strong. Roman did it by himself. No other Ghostface can say that as of now. It's pretty crazy. And Erica is the best mod. She's always hanging with us. We appreciate her to death. She's even saying you're the sweetest. I love that. All nothing but love in our chat tonight, baby. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I will say, you know, like, I'm trying to think of who's an underrated Ghostface just to give to that. Roman maybe is a little underrated. I think he's in a movie that oftentimes gets crapped on. But I do think that, you know, Scott Foley's doing a lot with what little he's given, you know? It's kind of not an easy role to play the secret brother of the main character who was also secretly involved this entire time, and no one knew about that until now. I would be intimidated if someone was like, hey, play this character really well. I'd be intimidated. And Scott Foley does his best, man. It's a really fun little performance, especially in that third act. That's where I feel like he gets to shine the most. But I love it. Silver Princess, thank you for the 5. We appreciate you a ton. Very good stuff. Good stuff. Everyone sucks but me. Brutal. Yo, Eric from the Bearded Entertainment. How we doing, dude? Thanks for being a member for 22 months. That's almost 2 years. Really appreciate you a bunch. What's up, party people? You know what's up. We're making some crazy shit happening over here. Bearded and I are working on a secret project right now, and I can't wait for all of us to... I can't wait for everyone to see it. I can't wait for everyone to see what we're working on. It's going to be fun. So, Eric... So much love to you, my friend. Thanks for being here. I can't wait to do some crazy shit. Let me know if you want to stream this week. I'm not sure if you're free or not, but it would be cool. It would be dope. I have a thought for a stream that I would like to do Friday. So if you're available, let's see if we can make that happen. Hey, JJ. What's up, dude? Do you, Killjoy, want to be a horror writer-director that releases Hollywood movies, or would you rather release independent movies on social media? It's a really good question, if I'm being honest. I really want to make that jump to filmmaking, and we're working on something right now to hopefully get that train moving along. I just I don't know. I don't think Hollywood is like the goal anymore. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I feel like, if you just make something really good and you upload it to YouTube, you'll get attention. You'll get eyeballs on your project. You don't need to submit it to a film festival anymore. That's kind of how I look at it. I still want to do that. I still absolutely would like to make something, let it go on a festival run, see what happens with it. That would be dope. But honestly, if you just want to make something really good that you believe in, and then just release it on YouTube, it might get some views, dude. I mean, our Chicken Man short film, which I'm very proud of, it's just a Carpenter-inspired slasher with some extra steps. That got 4,000 views. That's something, that's not nothing. I'll take it. So we're working on some stuff now that hopefully will, build a little bit of a following over on Human Egg Productions. And I just, my big thing is I would like to work up to actually making another feature film. It's been a while since I did that. And I'm gearing up for something right now. I feel pretty confident in something. I would love to do that at one point, but at the moment, if Hollywood, hey, if that happens, that would be dope. But I'm someone who's just like, I just want to make a movie. I just want to make a movie and see what happens with it. Put it out in the world and see what people think. So that's kind of where I'm sitting with it now. But I don't know if necessarily Hollywood is something that the young folks are striving for anymore. That would be dope, but also building your own platform, building your own following, and just releasing something, man. I mean, that's fucking sick. That's really fucking cool. So YouTube is kind of the place. YouTube is the place to do it. I mean, like, a lot of people are moving to YouTube from Hollywood. Like, I don't know if you know this or not. The Oscars are coming to YouTube. That's crazy. Like, that's where the people are. That's where the people here are here, man. Like, if you've made it on YouTube, you've made it, and I guess that's kind of how I'm looking at it these days. Is like, my whole young life, I was like, I want to move to Hollywood. I want to go to LA. I want to make movies, but it's like, you can kind of do that just from the comfort of your own home if you really want to. You got to make connections. You got to meet people to make movies and all that too. And I'm working on that. But, at the same time, man, I mean, you can do all of this from your bedroom. You really can. You really can nowadays. Like, maybe 20 years ago, that wasn't necessarily the case. It absolutely is today here in 2026. We got Allie saying, fuck this bathroom, I'm gonna play some Mortal Kombat. I love the energy, Allie. The chaotic energy coming from you tonight is exactly what this stream needs, and I love it. I love it. Great stuff. Allie, thank you for the $2. Thank you for the love. We have a whole story happening here. We're not even 20 minutes into the stream. We got a whole story happening in the chat. I love it. Thank you for the 2. Thank you for the support. It really means a lot. We also got Zork, the Dark One. Everyone bow down to the Dark Lord. Hey, Jake and Killjoyers. I like that. My homeboy got his master's degree yesterday. Yo, that's awesome. Congratulations. I'm freaking happy for him. Can we all give him some love in the comments? Can we put some W's in the chat for Zork, the Dark One's homeboy, baby? Let's go. Everyone, W's in the motherfucking chat, baby. Not master's degree. It is a master's degree. Holy shit. This fella's smart. I barely have an associate's degree. Let's go. Let's fucking... Round of applause. This is awesome. Zork, I love it, dude. Thank you for the 5. Congratulations to your homeboy. Master's degree, that's not easy, dude. And also just fuck yeah on seeking a higher education. Seriously, it's something that I feel like it's crapped on a lot these days. And I get it, not every profession necessarily, you don't need to go to college for every single profession, but if you want to do it, I encourage everyone to at least go to college a little bit, even for like an associate's degree. I'm a college dropout myself, so maybe I sound a little hypocritical, but I think it's important. College is great for a lot of things, but maybe number one, making connections. So, Zork, thank you for the 5. Congratulations. And yeah, seek a higher education, baby. It's great. I love all the W's in the chat. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Some good stuff. That ain't easy. That ain't easy to do. Congrats. Thank you again. Brandon is saying, what is the scariest movie that you've seen that still keeps you up at night? Ooh, that's a good question. Going back all the way to when I was much younger, Evil Dead 2013, I saw that when it came out, dude. Like, I'll never forget, I had seen the, like, Evil Dead 1 and 2, I think, at this point, and Evil Dead 2013, like, came out, and I remember there was, like, DVDs of it everywhere, and I'm like, oh, I gotta see what this is all about. And my dad was like, okay, they're like, Evil Dead 2 was kind of goofy, this one's probably not too bad. So we put it on, and I'm just like, mortified. I was pretty young. I think I was like 13, 14. Horrified, dude, when I saw that movie. My God. So that one still keeps me up even to this day. They say that, the more you come back to a movie, the less scary it is. Not with that one. At least for me. Like, that one still fucks me up every time I see it. Like, I'm still like watching certain scenes through my fingers because it's so fucked up and hard to watch. Oh my God. The thing that gets me the most, and there's things about this movie, Terrifiers, the Terrifier movies, there's elements of those that still get me. But it's the crowbar through the fucking hand, like through the webbing of his fingers, like, and it busts his hand in half. I don't know why that fucks me up so bad, Zork. Not Zork. We're not talking to Zork. We're talking to Brandon. Brandon, that still messes me up. It's so good. Hereditary still fucks me up, man. That is one of the darkest films I think I've ever seen in my life. I think Obsession, still super duper freaky. My God. Upon second watch, now that I've seen that twice, I can say that. So I don't know, just some really crazy, there's some really great movies out there that I think still hold up and still are scary. And if we want to go way back, The Exorcist, dude, like, they call it the scariest movie of all time. It's scary, man. That is a freaky ass film. And a lot of religious horror doesn't necessarily work for me, but The Exorcist, it's great. It's so good. It deserves all the love. It's excellent, man. It's a really good movie. So I've always really liked that one. We got Michael C. hanging out with us. Michael C. Hall, perhaps, from Dexter. Hey, everyone. What's up, Michael? Welcome in. Joan Sclafani, thank you for being a channel member. Yo. Congrats. Congrats to the homeboys. We love it. We also got... Who else do we got hanging out with us? We got Kyle Scunberg in the chat saying, I saw Obsession. Wow, what a masterpiece. My favorite movie of the 2020s. Everyone go see it. I'm so glad there's so much love for this movie, dude. When I got to see it a couple weeks ago, like before its release, and I was just like, oh, this is gonna hit. This is gonna hit like a semi truck, bro. I'm so excited for everyone to see it. And I'm just glad that majority of people who I've seen have really liked it, have really enjoyed it. It's really resonated. And the hatred for Bear, which I won't say any more than that, makes me very happy. Because I didn't want to say this in my initial review. I kind of hinted at it a little bit, but I was like, there's something about this movie that I'm so worried people are going to take the wrong way. But it seems like the majority of people are like, oh no, he's the bad guy. Like, he's doing the fucked up shit there. And I'm like, okay, thank God. But yeah, I could just talk on and on and on about that. But man, it's a great movie. It's such a great movie. It's so good. It's just so good. Oh. For Misery Gaming is saying, Jake, after Obsession, I feel like Bear reminded me a lot of Jack Quaid's character from Companion. Yes. 100% yes. Bear's the bad guy. I think that here's where a lot of the confusion, I think, revolves around Bear, though. Like, I don't think Bear starts off as a bad guy in particular. I really don't. I think that if he didn't start in a somewhat relatable place, I mean, the first couple minutes we see him, something really tragic happens to him. I'm avoiding spoilers. I want to tiptoe around him. But something really tragic happens to Bear within the first, 5 minutes of the movie, basically. And if you know, you know. And, that's really... I think that's there for a lot of reasons. It's a parallel to something that happens later. But I also think that it's kind of there to be like, I want to feel bad for this guy at first. I want to be in his shoes. I want to step into this guy's position and see why he does what he does initially. But then there's a point where he takes it too goddamn far. And it's like, dude, you're being an asshole. You gotta stop. You're being more than that. You're taking it farther than being an asshole, dude. Holy shit. Bear's a piece of shit at a certain point. Not at first, but as the movie progresses, he just makes terrible fucking decisions and won't just stop all this. And it really does end up being him that's the one who's obsessed. And I think that's the brilliance of the movie, because you're going to see all the marketing and you're going to be like, oh my God, Nicky's crazy, dude. But it's like, that's not what's going on. You know that's not what's going on. Oh, it's great. It's just it's an excellent movie. I think it's very subtle in a lot of the things that it's doing. And I think there's something going on in there that's one of the scariest kinds of situations I think a human being could possibly be in, albeit supernatural. But man, it's a great movie. I'm blown away by it. And yes, Companion, definitely a similar situation. That's all I'll say. I don't want to dive too deep into it. Not everyone's seen it. Erica Stabs for likes throwing $2 out there saying, did y'all forget to hit the goddamn like button? Uh-oh, you forgot to hit the like button. She's got the knife ready, guys. Ugh! Right in the hand. Just make sure you hit the like button so that doesn't happen. I'm just saying. Erica, thank you for the $2. Please don't bite off any fingers tonight. Not again. We can't. I can't keep paying all these medical bills. I'm just kidding. No, but yes. No, but yes. Hit the like button. Make it happen. Press the buttons. It helps the page out a little bit. We have Corey Pendragon. I think I'm saying all these words correctly. Corey Pendragon, you have a xenomorph as a profile picture. I love it. Jake, are you into horror novels? If so, you have to check out The Black Farm by Elias Withrow. Just finished the second one, and it was a nightmare story that I could not put down, and I loved it. I'm absolutely going to have to, 100% going to have to check that out. I haven't read in a very long time. I've just been crazy busy, but I used to read a lot of Stephen King. I used to, like, when I was in high school, I read a lot of Stephen King, and I've actually bought some books in the last couple of years and just haven't really read them. So at some point, I really want to get back to having some time to actually sit down and read again. I just told my fiance that just this week, I have made 15 videos already. So I'm a little bit of a busy fella. Times are tough, times are crazy, and I have actually made 15 videos already that not all of them have yet to release, but that is how insanely ahead I am. So life is crazy. I need a nap, and I need to read some more books. So I'm going to put that on the list, and we'll get to it eventually. Black Farm by Elias Withrow. I like it. I like it, Corey. Thank you for being a channel member, too, by the way. 7 Moon Stars saying, did I make it again? You fucking did, baby. And we're not even 30 minutes into this. So you're still, like, technically on time. Like, I wouldn't give you any strikes for being late. That's where we're at. Who are we talking about? We're talking all the dirt. We're spilling tea, baby. We're going to start some drama tonight. I'm just kidding. I don't know what we're talking about. Silver Princess is throwing another $10 out there. Thank you for the support. You're saying, well, since my brother Zork isn't going to brag, I'll do it for him. He passed his special agent exam for the ATF recently. The ATF considers anything less than 80% a failing grade, so that's huge. Holy shit. That's awesome. Congratulations, brother Zork. The dark one. Zork saying, shh. That's too damn funny. Y'all know each other? Y'all fucking with me right now? Is that what's happening? This feels like a back and forth thing. It feels like we're telling stories again. You know, we got Allie out here telling stories. We got Silver Princess and Zork going back and forth. There's characters on this live stream. We got a whole ass, rising action going on here. I love it. Well, congratulations again to Zork, Zork's homeboy, brother Zork. Was it? I don't know. Now I'm not sure of anything. I don't know what's going on. Is reality the real thing? Thank you for the 10, though, my friend. I really do appreciate it. Round of applause. All the way around. Princess is my sister. Oh, well, look at that. Well, we got a whole family of... We got a whole family of dark ones. I like that. I like that quite a bit. Thank you for the 10. Sister Princess. Sister the dark one. Joan Sclafani throwing $20 out there. Thank you for the support, Joan. I really appreciate that. Thank you for being a channel member too. You're way too damn cool. You're saying, I hope Scream 8 is good. Are you looking forward to it? I'm an eternal optimist. I'm an eternal optimist, but Scream is making it real hard to be an eternal optimist. I want to be excited for a Scream film. I always do. I love the Scream movies so much. But Scream 7 just really made me lose a lot of faith and a lot of hope. So I don't know. I'm really struggling with it. I'm really struggling with the whole thing because I don't know. I was saying this beforehand. Well, before Scream 7 came out, I was saying, hey, if they lose a lot of the things that Scream is known for, that what makes a Scream film, I worry that they're just going to let Scream become just every other franchise. And listen, the Mortal Kombat. Let's talk about that. Let's compare this to Mortal Kombat 2, okay? Mortal Kombat 2, this is a nostalgia fest. It's just a fun-ass little movie. You got some crazy fights. You got a lot of nostalgia to the old games, a lot of references, and that's okay. Mortal Kombat as a movie doesn't need to be any more than that. I had a good time with it, but I'm not going to call it, a 10 out of 10 masterpiece or anything. For what it was going for, it's a solid flick. But Scream, Scream has always been a much more complex franchise than that. Scream is the last series that should just copy the notes of something else. Scream isn't based off of a video game that doesn't necessarily have a story. You know what I mean? Scream is something that is based in a very intelligent and cerebral horror film. And to make a film that is so devoid of thoughts, that is just a mindless, slasher, splatter. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's just not what Scream is. That's just not, Scream has not been that ever until Scream 7. And I worry for the future of Scream that it's just going to be that again. It's like, well, I think what Scream 7 has told the studio is that, hey, as long as we have legacy characters in here and some good kills, people are going to show up. And that worries me for the future, because it's like, Scream, that's not what Scream is inherently. Scream is so much more than that. And I worry that, Scream, the future of Scream is just going to be thoughtless slasher films where you get some good kills and some characters that you like from previous movies. And I don't know, that to me is just so disappointing as a Scream fan who really loves these movies for having a little bit of commentary on the genre and talking a little bit, making some really good points and observations about the state of the genre and being really ahead of its time, man. I mean, I would go so far as to say that like Screams 1, 2, honestly, literally all the sequels, maybe except for like 6 or 7. 6 is just a fun, weird little movie. I think maybe there's some parts of it that are interesting, but not as much as the previous films. But Screams 1 through 5, I think, did a really good job with their commentary angle. And I'm really impressed by those films still to this day. But Scream 7, I mean, it just completely flopped its AI talk. What did it have to say about AI? I got nothing outside of the fact that it fooled Sidney Prescott into thinking that the AI videos on her phone were real. It's like, it's frustrating. That does nothing for me. That just makes me think less of Sidney Prescott as a character. She's supposed to be the super intelligent final girl that's kicking ass, punching, shooting through doors and kicking the shit out of Ghostface. And I don't know, just that whole movie I feel like really ruined a lot of her character arc. So I'm just worried that the future of the Scream franchise is just going to be about, beating a dead horse, sucking all the milk out of the cow that is already dry. And I hope that's not the case. I'd want to be more optimistic. I really do. But Scream 7 did not give me a whole lot of good thoughts. So hopefully for the future of the franchise, we don't do that. We actually go back to what makes this franchise so great. Give us some good commentary. Give us some good arcs for characters, whether that be new ones or old ones, because there wasn't a whole lot going on with the new characters in Scream 7 either. And give us a good murder mystery, for the love of God. I mean, just an attempt to do something good. Haven't had that in 2 movies. Come on now. Try. just try a little bit. But yeah, I'm struggling to be optimistic is what I'll say. But I still love Scream. It hasn't changed my thoughts on the previous entries. I just worry for the future. And I really hope that they try to make some good movies again at some point. I hate to be so negative though, Joan. I really hope that whatever comes next, it's awesome. I really do. But it's tough. I do appreciate the 20 though. Thank you for the support. Sorry about the rant. Chris is hanging out with us saying, what would you like to see from Rabbit in Blood and Honey 3? We have Roger L. Jackson voicing him, and I really don't want it to just be like a Ghostface thing. Like, make it its own character, dude. Roger Jackson is, a great voice actor who has voiced not only just Ghostface, but like Mojo Jojo. Like, dude, that's a very different voice and character from Ghostface. Like, dude can bring some really fun stuff to this. So I hope it's not just like a big Ghostface reference. I really hope that Rabbit is like his own character. And Roger Jackson gets to play around with like a different type of horror villain. That's the kind of thing that I'm really hoping for, maybe the most from it. Like, don't just do the Ghostface voice. Do something a little, make it your own, make Rabbit his own character. I don't want to see Rabbit like making phone calls to our main characters or anything like that. It's like, no, come on. That doesn't fit here. So I that's a really good question, because I really want Roger to make Rabbit his own character. So, I have not seen Funny Games. I don't know how I missed that one. I have to watch it. It's a quick watch too. I think the runtime isn't anything too crazy. For Misery Gaming is saying, would you still watch Dexter if the Dokes meme never existed? Of course. I absolutely still would. There's so much great about Dexter. The Dokes memes are funny, though. I do love them quite a bit. And they absolutely made episode 12 a super duper fun watch. But man, yeah, no, I'm coming around to Dokes as a character. I feel like he came on really strong in season 1. But the more we've gotten to learn about him, the more I've really liked the guy. So I can't wait to see what's going on with that. Brandon is throwing $2 out there saying, what's up with the pickle situation, Jake? We have more pickles, so Madison can have dinner finally again. So thankfully, yes, we have re-upped on pickles, have filled the void of not having pickles here. So we have them again, thank God. Madison will have something to eat again. So thank you for asking, because it's a very important question, okay? It's a big deal around here. Big deal that Madison has her pickles, damn it. Thank you for the $2 though. Really appreciate the support. Raptor Crasher 9823 is saying, watched a movie called My Chan's Daily Life. I hope I pronounced that right. Supposed to be extremely disturbing, but it was terrible. Bottom 5 movies I have ever seen. Brutal. Well, don't watch My Chan's Daily Life. That's what we've learned today. God damn. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is better than Scream though. Flees to another country. Damn, dude. I think we can't look at Scream 7 as... honestly, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. This is how I'm looking at it. Scream 7 is just not even a part of the Scream franchise. I'm looking at it that way, because Scream, it's not like Scream 7's not even a Scream movie. Is kind of how I feel about it. Like it doesn't even try to do a lot of the things that a lot of the other Ghostface movies have tried to do. So I just kind of see that as something that exists outside the bounds of the Scream universe. It's like, this is like a weird little alternate dimension where this also happened. That's kind of how I'm looking at it, because it doesn't change anything really from the past. It doesn't give us any sort of new revelations on those characters, so you can kind of take it or leave it. So I think that's that's maybe the good thing. That's the bright side about like this new age of Scream, is it's like, well, okay, they might be making these movies that really aren't doing anything for the franchise and really aren't trying to uphold the pillars of what made Scream so great, but it's also not really like retroactively ruining anything, like story-wise, at least in the fictional world of Scream. Well, it's a totally different story when it comes to the behind-the-scenes stuff, but besides the point. I think that, we can still look at Sidney Prescott's arc as basically being finished in part 5, if you really want to. And that's personally how I look at it. I'm just not even gonna have that in my headcanon. is where I'm at with it. Because man, Sidney Prescott, first of all, if Sidney Prescott would never not run back and get the keys to her car, because that would be faster, and she's a smart final girl. She's not a dumb final girl, dude. That was such a frustrating scene. And also, she wouldn't get fooled by AI on her phone. She would be a little more equipped, I think. She does tact. She's intelligent. That's like one of the biggest things about that character. And to write her so dumb, really frustrating to me. Really, really, really frustrating. So, are we going to get Cuckoo Bananas? We're getting Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs out here. Not sponsored, but I wish. I love Cocoa Puffs. Oh, damn. It's time to get Cuckoo Bananas. It's always time to get Cuckoo Bananas. Are you kidding me? Exactly the 37-minute mark in the stream? Yes. This is the time, baby. This is the time to lose your fucking mind. Yeah. I have rabies now. Ilum, thank you for the 2. I appreciate it. Now I kind of want some bananas. Maybe Jake is chatting with some ghosts or figments of his imagination. Maybe this YouTube is something he conjured. Maybe I could just be sitting in a straitjacket in a very padded room right now, talking to myself. That could be what's going on right now. And I wouldn't doubt it for a second. Jake, since we're talking about Scream, do you think after the merger with WB... Oh, God, I hope that doesn't go through. And Warner Bros. And Paramount, Mike DeLuca and Pam Avery might stay to see over the quality of the big movies like they currently do at Warner Bros. If that merger happens, it's just, I don't know. It's not a whole lot's going to change, I think, in terms of what's going on with the Scream franchise. A lot is going to happen. A lot is going to change in terms of what's going on in Hollywood. But I think that, Paramount being the top dog then over all of that IP, it's just going to make everything kind of feel the same. I really hope that merger doesn't happen. If I'm being completely honest, that would be like that. It's a textbook monopoly, first of all. And Secondly, I'm just not loving a lot of the things going on with new Paramount, if I'm being honest. I think that a lot of how they've handled not even just Scream, just a ton of different situations and franchises, whatever. It's just it's something that I really just don't want to see become a massive conglomerate that is the owner of like the majority of IP, which is like, you know, the biggest thing that I kind of talk about on here. Let's call it what it is. I get the most excited about the original horror movies, but it's the IP that brings in the crowd. I put Scream in the title of today's stream. We have almost, 1.5 times the amount of people that usually show up to these streams. Let's just call it what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's be transparent here. But I think that if that happens, a lot of the IP we'll see, which Warner Bros owns a lot, quite a bit of IP. It's all gonna feel like Paramount right now, and I think that's not necessarily something I'm really loving. So I'm scared. I really hope that somehow that merger gets blocked. I worry that it won't though. So. No idea. It's a scary time to be alive, baby. It's a freaky, scary, shit your pants kind of time. I don't think things will change for Scream though if that merger does go through, if that's what you're asking. YB Coraline is saying, if I figured out Scream 8 is following Tatum in college, I am going to crash out. We've done it 2 times and now 3. Only will be interested if it's a new cast or Sam and Tara coming back. Honestly, I'm with you. I think that's the only thing that could really save Scream story-wise at this point, is just like clean slate, brand new set of characters, new town, new situation, no connection to the past. Because man, we're not doing anything. We're not doing anything of value with the characters from the past. Like we're just not. Nothing about Scream 7 added to what came before at this point. So I really think we just need to leave the past in the past, do something fresh, do something new. This is a murder mystery franchise, for God's sake. I mean, we don't need to continue the story of what came before every single time. Murder mysteries lend themselves to new kinds of stories every single time with a new set of characters. You really want to make it a good mystery that's going to fool some people, don't have anyone who can't be the killer, because like half the cast in the last movie couldn't have been the killer. So I really, really, really think that's going to be the best route for Scream moving forward. I really do miss Tara and Sam. I do too. I don't know if they're ever going to actually come back as long as Spyglass or Paramount owns the IP, but hey, it's maybe at some point. You never know. You never know, man. Anything could happen. Big Brisk Yo is saying, did you see David Arquette on Chris Van's channel talking about being the killer? About being the killer? No, I did not see that. I've seen him talk a little bit recently about some, like he talked recently about not knowing that he was going to die in Scream 5. He's kind of brought that up a few times in interviews. I see, Jiwaki is quoting the lighthouse over there, saying, "You fond of me lobster, ain't ya?" I haven't seen that movie in forever, dude. Really need to put that one on. It's been way too long. Gory Tiger is with us saying, "What's up? What's up, Gory Tiger? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Why'd you spill your beans?" I love that. I love that. Favorite Asian horror movies? Dude, there's so much good stuff. So much good stuff. Oh my God. There's a great horror movie from every single country and nobody realizes it. I think that's kind of I don't know. I don't know if that's like a hot take, weird take, whatever, but there's a lot of great international horror, man. There's a lot of great Korean horror movies that are zombie movies. Like I really think some of the best zombie movies to come out in the last like 10 years or so have been like Korean horror flicks. Whew, man, lots of great stuff there. I mean, Train to Busan's probably the most popular. I really like the sequel, Peninsula. I think Peninsula did not get enough love. It's a really solid movie. It's not as good as Train to Busan, but it's really, really fucking good. It kind of has this like Escape from New York feel about it, but with zombies, which is cool. These characters are trying to get into, the Korean peninsula, and it's filled with zombies. They got to pick up a truck full of cash basically and extract it. It's just, it's such a good movie. It's really fun. Train to Busan's probably the best. I really like, there's this movie called #Alive that's over on Netflix. It's a really good watch. It's a really interesting movie. Smaller premise, but still zombies, which is crazy. Very fun time. And from the same guy that did Train to Busan, brand new movie's coming out soon called Colony. Really excited for that. Looks like it looks more like Peninsula than it does Train to Busan. And that kind of has me hyped because there's things about Peninsula that I think could have been done better, and I think Colony's gonna do it. It's gonna do it up, and I can't wait for it. It's gonna be fun. There's also some great J-horror. I mean, from like the late 90s and early 2000s. Holy shit, lots of good stuff there. You gotta love like The Ring, Dark Water, The Grudge, Pulse. Pulse is fucking terrifying. Holy shit. And don't just watch the American remakes, although a lot of those are good too. But dude, some of the crazy J-horror shit is awesome. I had something really terrifying happen to me the other day that kind of reminded me of like a scene in one of those movies where you have something like just really scary standing at the end of the hallway. I'm just sitting here editing one night. I was kind of like going real late on a Dexter video, and I look over and Madison is standing in the doorway over here. Like, I think she was mid-yawn. I had my headphones on. I couldn't hear anything. And she's like this. Like, staring right at me. You would be terrified, too, if you saw that shit, like, in the dark. Obscured faces, obscured features, you know? And I just, like, oh! Jumped out of my damn seat. You know, I thought... I really thought that after watching all these horror movies, I wouldn't be so jumpy. The opposite effect has happened. the exact opposite effect has happened on me, which is crazy. Anyways, Ben's hanging out with us. Thank you for the 5. You're saying best way to open Scream 8 is to kill off Sydney because no one would expect it, i.e. real stakes. Tatum could earn her stripes as a final girl. See, like... To me, that's the fastest way to piss off the fan base, though. That's the thing about that. I agree it would be a great big shock, and I think no one would expect it. But I think the thing that we're looking for is not so much shock, but surprise. You know, like a really good twist, a really good surprise that, which is different. You know, like when we go back to like the Hitchcock bomb theory, the whole thought with that is like you can have, you know, a bunch of people sitting around a table and then the table explodes and that's going to shock everybody. But if you face the camera looking upwards underneath the table and you can see the bomb ticking down, that builds suspense and tension, you know? And that's kind of the same thing there. Can we build a movie centered around Sydney where she dies? I guess is more so what I'm looking for. So like Sydney dies in the third act, maybe sacrificing herself, and we kind of make you think she's going to live through it or something. I don't know, but I don't think they're ever going to kill Sydney. We're hearing, I mean, the big update today that I talked about from, about Hayden Panettiere is that she has a no kill clause, and you know Sydney Prescott's got that too, dude. I don't understand how that would ever be allowed in a slasher franchise. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why make a slasher franchise where people can't die? That's not a slasher franchise at that point, you know? There are no stakes in the Scream series right now, which again, I think is another reason why it's hard to be excited for new entries, because it's like, if the main characters can't die, there's no tension. There was no tension in Scream 7. There, like, nothing. I never felt it even for a minute. There's some solid kills. There's some great big shocks, some bloody, brutal deaths that I wasn't expecting, but that's not how you build tension, you know? I want to feel that again, man. I think the original Scream, while it is very accessible, I don't think it's like too scary. You know, I think a lot of younger people can really get into it, and that's why I feel like it has a larger audience. There is still some tension. There is still some genuine stakes in that movie, and you just don't really feel that in something like in Scream 7 and some of these later movies. So can we get back to that? Can we, you know, try to make a good movie as opposed to, you know, trying to put legacy first, trying to put nostalgia first? Can we do that? Well, time will tell. Only time will tell. Ben, thank you for the 5. I want tension. I want tension again in my Scream movies. That's all I want. What else do we got going on here? Erica's throwing a bunch of really cool shit out in the chat there. Talking a little bit about some crazy different links. Throwing out the Patreon link, which of course is really fucking cool. If you haven't checked that out, we do uncensored and uncut versions of the Dexter reaction videos around here. I'm going through Dexter for the very first time. And if you've never seen Dexter, you should watch it along with me. It's probably one of the better shows I've ever watched, tell you what. So check that out. The link is in the chat right now. And also, follow the 2 other YouTube channels that we're running right now. A lot of content is going up on both of those pages very soon. So, Human Egg Productions, you're going to see some short films over there very soon. A bunch of stuff we're working on right now. And also check out Killjoy Jake Clips, the second page, formerly GullGotha, so you might already be subscribed. I'm putting some original content there based on my physical media collection, as well as some live stream clips, shit that I think is really fun and that I want to exist over there. That's a little more edited, a little more, you know, kind of cut into a video, essentially. So go check out both those pages. Please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Some really cool stuff is going up on both of those pages very soon. Just got home from class. Let's talk Scream 8. You're damn right, RJ. What's up, dude? Welcome in. I hope class was fun. Hope you had a good time in class. Also, I forgot to say this earlier, but thank you guys for getting us to our super chat goal as well. Really does mean a lot. Thank you. We'll be talking horror for a little longer tonight. For Misery Gaming is saying, Jake, did you ever read the Buffy canceled pilot from the sisters from Critical Overlord? Interested to see if you have high hopes for them as writers, or should we expect mediocrity? I will definitely check that out. I did not know that was around, but I will look into it, give it a read. I don't know if I've ever talked about this before, but Critical Overlord actually sent me an early draft of Beetlejuice 2, like years before it came out. So I got to kind of read what that was all about well before it came out, which is crazy. So it's some of the shit you can find online, man. It's nuts. Insane shit, man. But I definitely want to read that. I am curious, what the case is, in terms of what their caliber of writing is, what that is all about. Hopefully something good. Froggy Fresh is saying, hi, Jake. Been learning the Rubik's Cube over the past few days. Very nice. Got my fastest solved down to 1 minute and 20 seconds. Congrats, dude. That's crazy. Hoping to get under a minute. I was friends with a kid in, I want to say middle school, who he could do it in 3 seconds or something like that. I was like, what? Literally how? That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I don't know. I don't know how people do it. You're learning how to do it. I couldn't even do it in 20 minutes, if I'm being honest. So 1 minute is pretty damn impressive. That's awesome. People are talking about the Scream TV series. I have whenever you get a new sequel in something that's really bad, I always have a newfound respect for things that I wasn't as crazy about. from the franchise before. I've never really I've never loved the Scream TV series. I think it's okay. It's not bad by any means. I don't think it's great either. It's kind of somewhere in the middle for me. I'm definitely more fond of it now because it's a goddamn Scream TV series where I don't even think Scream 7 is doing a good job at being a Scream property. So I definitely feel I have a higher level for it these days than I used to. So definitely like it a lot more than than on previous streams, videos, whatever. Am I an action fan? What do you think of the trailer for The Furious? Oh, very excited for that, dude. It looks awesome. It looks really intense. Fucking crazy. I do really like some action here and there. I think that there's a lot of action movies these days that are kind of just slop, kind of just mindless slop, and it's not really a whole lot of good stuff. But I do enjoy some of that every now and then, I will say. I have seen pretty much every Jason Statham movie for the last couple of years in theaters, and they're so bad. They are so atrociously bad, and I have a very good time with them every single time. Beekeeper was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in theaters, and I had a great time with it. I was losing my mind laughing at that shit the whole way through. But yeah, I feel like there's been a lot of bad action movies. The majority of the ones that I've seen, at least. But every now and then, though, you get a really good one. What was the one from a couple years ago? Monkey Man, I thought was really good. That was really solid. Not like a 10 out of 10 by any means, but still really good. I love the John Wick movies. I can't complain there. Love all 4 of those. Really fun. Ballerina was pretty solid. Not bad. Ballerina wasn't bad. This Furious, though, looks really good. I really think this is going to be something special. The trailer's very promising. I want to say I saw it before Obsession the second time. That's where I saw the trailer for that. So definitely excited for it. Can't wait to see when that comes out. Brandon the Beldam is saying, once my sister came in the dark asking for my phone charger and I was half asleep, so I saw this large shape standing over me and I proceeded to kick the hell out of it in fear. Oh my God. Oh, that's terrible. I know the feeling though. I know the feeling of I don't know what that thing is. I'm freaking out, and sometimes it's you're I don't it's someone you love. It's terrifying. Yeah, I was just I was locked into editing the other day, and that just happened. Freaked me the fuck out. It was awesome. The Jester is with us as well. Yo, what's up? Sorry I'm late. Didn't know there was a stream tonight. I just got home from a baseball game. Today was senior night, and my buddy is a senior, so I went to support him. Very nice. Very fun stuff. I hope you had a good time. baseball games I feel like baseball games like during this time of year just hit different. Like they're just so much more fun. You know, it's warm outside. It's like you get yourself like an ice cold lemonade or some bullshit and just hang out. That would go hard right now. That'd be really fun. So I hope you had a good time. Hope you had a good time. Got some friends around you, all that fun stuff. Let me say they kicked the other team's ass, took pictures with them after the game, and talked for a bit as well. Nice. That's awesome. Well, it sounds like you had a good time, my friend. So that's wonderful to hear. Always fun. Stefan is saying, I was the same watching all 11 Children of the Corn movies back to back. I still haven't seen some of those. I got to get on that. I got to get on some of the Children of the Corns, man. There's some crazy ones in there. There's a whole ass corn monster in part 3. If y'all are like, I need an incentive to watch these movies, there you go. Corn monster. I don't know what else to tell you. There's a whole ass corn monster in part 3. So the OG is still the best, but even then it's like a 7 out of 10. Yeah, for sure. So many of those later movies are so boring it made me want to retroactively give the OG 1 star more. I totally feel you though. I feel like whenever you get a bad adaptation of something, like it does make you look back at the original and you're like, that wasn't so bad. Okay, that was way better than this, you know? So yes, 100% agreed. What else is going on? Let's hang on. For Misery Gaming is saying, so Jake, after watching Obsession of how much you liked it, you really must watch the Housemaid. Different movie for sure, but somewhat similar vibe. I think you'll really enjoy it a lot. Dude, I don't know. I've told this story on stream before, but I skipped that one because I'm like, I don't think anyone's going to care about this movie. Sydney Sweeney has had miss after miss after miss. I was kind of busy in December. I'm like, I'm just going to skip this. It ended up being the biggest movie of last December. I'm like, fuck. I fucked up. I really should have covered that, man. So yeah, I definitely want to sit down and watch it at some point. I've been seeing, ads for it on, like, I can't remember which streaming service, but one of the streaming services is like, oh, come watch The Housemaid now. And I'm like, okay, at some point I'm doing it. I will say though, I watched Shelby Oaks finally today. And it's got some good stuff in it. I don't want to crap on this movie, man. I really like, I'm a huge fan of Chris Stuckman, man. I don't think I loved this movie, sadly. I get what a lot of people have been saying about it in terms of certain criticisms, but I don't think I hated it as much as everybody else, is what I'll say. I don't think it's just it's not great, but I don't think it's terrible, is where I'm sitting with Shelby Oaks. But I finally got around to that today, and it's been months and months and months since that movie released. I feel like a lot of people are talking about it now, and it kind of got into my subconscious a little bit. People are talking about like YouTuber horror movies and, like kind of like ranking them, all the different ones. So I was just like, I got to finally just sit down and watch this, man. It's been way too long. Let's just see what this is all about. It's so weird because the movie is filmed like across all of Northeast Ohio. I live in Cleveland. And it's there, like pretty much every major location of the movie I instantly recognized. It's like kind of bizarre. It's really weird. There's like multiple scenes where I'm like, I have been there. I have walked through that place before. This is so bizarre. They filmed in Cleveland Public Library. They filmed at this, like, I want to say it's Greenbrier Farm. It's like the main house in the movie. It's like, oh my God, I've been here before. Shelby Oaks is also this place called Boston Heights, which is a real abandoned town here in Ohio. Snuck in there when I was a teenager before. A lot of familiar buildings, a lot of familiar places and buildings in the actual movie, which is crazy. So it's one of those movies where, like, I feel like I maybe enjoyed it more than others because I'm so familiar with a lot of these places. But maybe some other folks might not feel the same way. I also think it's really well shot. That was another thing I really noticed about it. I'm like, the cinematography is amazing on this. So I definitely did not hate it. It could have been better, but I definitely didn't outright hate it. So I don't know. I honestly, I was hoping to come out of it liking it more, if I'm being honest. I was like, maybe this is overhated. Maybe I go into this and we have a really good time with it. But yeah. So Shelby Oaks was the most recent movie I watched, but hopefully at some point I'll get around to The Housemaid. And there's a few movies I've missed that I'm like kind of bummed about, dude. The Becky movies, dude. There's a third Becky movie coming out. y'all even know about the Becky movies? I really want to watch these at some point. I've heard nothing but good things. I missed both of them. They both have come out in the time that I've been doing all this crazy shit, and I didn't cover them. So at some point, we're getting around to Becky and Rat the Becky, and then whatever this third film's about to be. There's a fucking third Becky movie on the way, man. I gotta catch up with Becky. Damn it. Ben's hanging out with us, throwing a 250 out there. Thank you for the support, my friend. You're saying, Jake, any early predictions for Terrifier 4? Well, we finally have some plot details. The film is going to take place on New Year's Eve, which is really exciting. I can't wait to see what all that's going to be about. I really think, and this is a very strong prediction, but I really think we're going to see Art the Clown in New York City. Because, I mean, like, dude, when you think about New Year's Eve, what do you think of? What is the first thing, like, what's the thing that's going to be on TV with New Year's Eve? It's the fucking ball dropping, man. I think I'm pretty confident in the fact that I would say that Art the Clown is going to be in downtown New York City fucking up some crazy shit. And it's going to be really the first time we've seen that happen. You know, Miles County, I want to say, is like in New Jersey, but, you know, can he make his way to the big city? I think absolutely yes. I feel like it would almost be like, it would almost be a mistake not to do that too. You could kind of reference Jason Takes Manhattan a little bit. I think also, you know, just like New York in the snow, Art the Clown running around chopping people's heads off. I mean, that's just, come on. There's so much potential there. It would be a very expensive shoot. There's no doubt about it. But these, you know, the Terrifier movies are so like New York coded. They're made by a lot of people, you know, from that area. I'm almost kind of shocked that the first time we've really seen these guys do something in the city was the Steamboat Willie movie, which I don't know if you guys have seen that or not, but Screamboat is a ton of fun. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I really want to see that happen, because I just feel like you can't do a New Year's Eve slasher without being in New York City. Like, you're missing out. You can't set something on New Year's Eve and not have it be in like New York or have some sort of reference to New York. Come on now. So I really hope that's the case. I really hope that's what happens in Terrifier 4. That would be expensive, but, you know, Damien Leone's a guy to give a lot of money to at the moment. He's cooking. He's absolutely cooking. So that's one of my big early predictions. And of course, I think Art the Clown is going to score some pretty juicy kills. That's a safe bet, though. That's a safer bet, so I saved that for the end because it's not as exciting. We all know that's going to happen. Come on now. But Ben, thank you for the 250. I really appreciate it. New York City, here we come, baby. Becky and Wrath of Becky are fantastic. That's what I've heard. You know, my buddy worked on these movies too, Josh Petrino, and I'm like, I gotta fucking get on this shit, dude. I gotta fucking get on this shit. I gotta watch these movies already, so gotta make it happen. Jake, is the Sleepaway Camp franchise worth watching since you're a huge Friday the 13th fan? Wanted to see if you think that camp slasher is worth watching. I think the original movie is like fantastic. Sleepaway Camp's a weird one to recommend because I think it's very much so an acquired taste. I don't think everyone's going to like it, but it's one of those like so bad it's good, campy kinds of slashers that, yes, also takes place at a camp. So it's campy camp is essentially how I feel about it. I also feel like Sleepaway Camp falls into like Bizarro territory where you're watching a bunch of shit that's just like, what am I even looking at? Like, what is even happening in this scene? This is crazy. That's another reason why I think I really like it, because it is just so out there of a film. Again, I think it's a tough one to recommend because I don't think everyone's going to walk away from it liking it, but I like it for what it is, because there is some goofy ass lines, some crazy ass characters, and some ridiculous kills. The pot one still makes me crack the fuck up. But Sleepaway Camp, I don't know if I recommend it as a film to watch, but as someone who has seen it and really liked it, like if you're that kind of weirdo, if you're that flavor of weirdo, you'll really like it. That's what I'll say. It's kind of like if David Lynch if David Lynch was like, I want to make a Friday the 13th film for some reason, you know, that's kind of the vibe of Sleepaway Camp. I feel I don't think that a lot of people really like the sequels. I don't know. I feel like the first one's kind of like lightning in a bottle is how I feel about it. Like, you're never going to be able to make another Sleepaway Camp movie. But check out the sequels if you're interested. You got a different person playing Angela, which is also, you know, some people like new Angela more than previous Angela. I don't know. I think for me, the first one, that's all I need from Sleepaway Camp. So what else is going on? They're making a remake of The Mist. Yeah, Mike Flanagan, if I'm not mistaken, is doing it. definitely excited to see what that's all about. I don't know what he's going to do that's going to be any different than the movie with Thomas Jane. I think that movie's like kind of fantastic how it is. But hey, we'll see. We'll see what's up next, man. The Mist is a great story. I wouldn't mind some sort of new adaptation of it. You got to spin it down a different path, though. That's for sure. You can't just do the same thing again. Because I feel like the Darabout film is just like what Mike Flanagan would kind of do anyways. So we got to find a different way to spin The Mist, I think. What do I think of the Hell House movies? They're hit or miss, dude. Some of them are great, some of them are unwatchable, which is I kind of crazy to say. I think that the first movie is underrated, and a million people on the planet have said that. A million people, anytime someone's like, dude, what's the most underrated found footage movie? Everyone's answer is always Hell House, so like it's kind of not really underrated anymore. I think it's just perfectly rated. People like Hell House. It's a really solid movie if you haven't seen it. And yeah, of course I recommend it. But the two sequels that follow, this is another situation like Scream 7 where I think I have a bigger respect for Hell House 2 and 3 after seeing the latest one, which is like actually unwatchable. Like, dude, I don't know what the fuck happened there, but Hell House 5, which I think is it Lineage? Is that what it is? I don't know what the hell happened there, dude. They throw out the found footage thing, and it's just a movie with a bunch of bad and poorly set up clown jump scares. That is the entire film. And I wish I was joking. It is just the clown from the original movie pops out and scares somebody and kills them. And that is the entire movie. It is so bad. I don't know what happened there, dude. But wow, Hell House 5, skip it, dude. But the hidden gem in that franchise in terms of the sequels is the Carmichael Manor. If you haven't seen that one, easily the best sequel, without a doubt. Hell House, Carmichael Manor, really, really, really fun. It kind of goes back to what I feel makes the original movie so fun, while also sort of being a prequel. Everyone got so mad at me in my review because it's not 100% a prequel. Part of it is prequel, part of it is a continuation, and everyone was like, "It's not a prequel, Jake." It's a prequel. Get over it. So check it out. It's a good one though. Carmichael Manor, pretty fun. Not as good as the first, but it's probably the most solid follow-up. But I like them. I sounded like I was just shitting on them, but I really like two of those movies, is what I'll say. What did you think of the movie Stream? Dude, Stream was a ton of fun. I will admit I'm biased because I got invited to the premiere. But I think it's a really good time. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times now. Maybe my only big criticism is that it is a little long, but I think it is a really fun slasher with some super brutal kills. Like if you like the Terrifier movies, you got to see Stream because there are some really messed up and fucked up kills there. I also think the concept's great. You see so many of these slashers that don't really care about, the setup, or what our concept ultimately ends up being. The concept for Stream is very well thought out and lends itself to a bigger universe. And again, that's another thing that I just really appreciate about Stream. It's a very thought out film. That I don't know. I think if you like the Terrifier movies, man, there's some really cool shit going on in Stream that I wish more people would check it out because there's some. I think that's a truly underrated movie. Not enough people have seen that one. I think the tone is maybe a little too goofy for some, but the kills are so brutal. I think it makes up for that. And also, like I said, really good lore, really cool little world we're existing in. So I would recommend that one. Check out Stream. It's a fun one. Sleepaway Camp 2 cooked for being a comedy. 3 was ass and Return was unwatchable. The first one is still a masterpiece of oddness. I agree. 2 isn't terrible. I just think the first one's like that's the Sleepaway Camp movie to watch. If you watch nothing else, you got to see the first one. I watched Sleepaway Camp for the first time a few days ago. I only liked the ending. LMAO. I gave it 2 stars on Letterboxd. Yeah, it's a weird one. Like if you don't like Sleepaway Camp, I don't blame you at all. It is not for everybody. I just find it really funny. Like I think that's my big thing about it. It is like my kind of bizarro so bad it's good kind of horror flick. Like I can laugh through that one and have a really entertaining time. It is not a very well written film by any means, but there are some like crazy performances and lines in that movie that still stick with me. the eat shit and live thing, dude, during like the baseball scene or whatever. That's fucking iconic. That's one of my favorite scenes in like a slasher movie in general. It's just so funny. So if that's not really your cup of tea, yeah, that is totally fine. That is a movie that is for like 10, maybe 10% of the population kind of vibes, but I really do enjoy it. They should remake The Dark Tower and connect to Welcome to Derry. They are actually doing a new version of The Dark Tower. Mike Flanagan, again, very busy with Stephen King projects. Holy shit. He's got a Carrie series on the way later this year. Next up from him is Dark Tower. Actually, no, next up from him would be the Exorcist movie that drops at the top of next year. Then a Dark Tower series. Then some sort of new version of The Mist. So my guy is busy. My guy is busy, and he's got so much horror yet to come. I can't wait for it. I really hope it does connect to Welcome to Derry, because Pennywise, the Pennywise, like aliens or whatever, entities, whatever you want to call them, they're in the Dark Tower. So that is absolutely something that connects. Would be cool to see all that happen. I was even saying that, Welcome to Derry Season 2 should get into some Dark Tower lore. I made a whole video about that. I want to say like at the tail end of last year. So check that out if you haven't seen it. Hey, Jake, did you hear about a director, I forgot the name, that directed Nightmare on Elm Street 3 using AI for films? Yeah, I talked about that in my new video today. Crazy disappointing, man. It's especially disappointing, dude, because Chuck Russell is, he's the guy behind a ton of different, like, very excellent films. He directed the Blob reimagining from 1988, which honestly is one of my favorite horror films. I think it's really good. I think it's one of the better remakes, reimaginings, like, ever of all time. Dream Warriors, one of the best Nightmare on Elm Street sequels, easy, if not the best. And then also, he did The Mask, which, dude, one of the best Jim Carrey movies, man. Die on that hill. He's made some really good stuff, and now he's just completely taken a big old diarrhea dookie all over his career, just to make some AI slop. Dude, and it's like the worst sounding shit ever. It's like, it's AI movies that are doing commentary on AI. I'm like, bro, like, shoot yourself in the foot. You've shot yourself in the foot before you've even done anything. Like, are you kidding me? So yeah, it's really disappointing. I absolutely will not be covering that because they're not real movies. And that's not how they should be viewed. They're AI slop and nothing more. You can make AI slop 9 minutes. It doesn't make it a feature film. For those who don't know, and people who are like, why are people so mad at AI? Why do people hate AI so much? I get that question a lot. And it's a thievery machine. That's what generative AI is. It can only exist because art has been created by human beings, and it steals that and kind of makes it into its own, I guess, a new thing. Not really. If you have to steal art from the internet in order to make new art, that's fucked up, in my opinion. Pick up a pencil, do it yourself. Make your own shit, dude. Listen, I have busted my ass on short films and feature films. That is not being thrown away just so that some butthole who hasn't put any sort of work into actually making stuff can sit at a computer and type a prompt and make a whole thing. That's so frustrating to me. Fuck that shit. I have put blood, sweat, and tears into making stuff, and I will continue to do that because that is the only path towards making something really great. So I cannot stress that enough. We cannot even remotely let AI be a thing in this space, man. That's just, there's no place. Generative AI specifically, too, I want to say. I think listen, admittedly, there are some interesting AI programs that can help with other stuff, just not the arts. Like, that's the frustrating thing about it to me. It's like a lot of the tech bros are saying, like, dude, here we got Gen AI so that you can make your art really quick and get it over with. And it's like, that's so fucking backwards, man. Like, we should be training AI to do the shit that we don't want to do. Like, how about AI does my fucking dishes for me while I can have another 5 minutes to create my art? Like, what? Shit is so backwards right now, man. Like, shit is backwards. That's all it is. I'm gonna get off my damn pedestal, but shit's crazy. Shit's crazy out there, man. This world is on fire, man. Stefan is saying, whatever happened to that rewarding, wholesome feeling, making something yourself and seeing you're getting better at it? Yeah, and that too. You're not getting that by writing a prompt for something and creating it out of thin air. Like, that's not, no, dude. It's, even going into, let's talk about that in comparison to Obsession. Seriously. No spoilers, but the whole concept of obsession revolves around, Bear making this wish to instantly have this relationship with the girl that he's been like kind of fawning over. And it's like, dude, like, you got to earn something like that, man. Like, you can't just be fucking, like, you can't just walk into someone's life and expect to have a great relationship immediately. Like, that's something that takes time. It takes the right person, like someone who actually feels that way about you as well. And you're not going to find that immediately. You know what I mean? Like, that's why something like love is so special. That's why something like creating art is so special, is because it does take time. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of trial and error to figure things out, to make a mistake and then overcome it. You don't have any of that with AI prompt writing. You know what I mean? I've heard some people who are like, well, sometimes you got to write a prompt multiple times. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Are you kidding me right now, dude? Like, that's crazy. That's so crazy. But yeah, man, I mean, I feel like, a lot of people these days just don't have patience. This is a spoiler-free Obsession stream, but yeah, we can talk spoilers eventually for Obsession. I think maybe sometime next. I want to give people another weekend to see this one, because people got lives, people got jobs and shit. One more week on that. But last thing I'll say about AI is I think that we as a society are slowly valuing convenience over actual like hard work and putting something good together. And that's the biggest problem with AI in general. It's not even so much that it's just AI. It's a lot of things. I mean, we value just the quick little hits of dopamine on our phone versus actually sitting down and watching a movie. I mean, it's the same problem. It's the same reason why Gen AI is a problem versus, the shorts just taking up all your time. If it's just not, that's not good. That's not healthy for your brain, man. So I really hope that people learn to value true quality over just that quick hit of dopamine, moving into the future. Learn to really work hard on something, man, and earn that shit, Work hard for yourself, man. Work hard for the things that you really care about. That's so important. I know, and we do live in this age where, people are being taken advantage of, and, there's a lot of bullshit going on. But when it comes to something that you really want to do, like creating your art, doing your thing, making music, writing movies, whatever, do it yourself. Put the hard work in. Take the time to figure out how you can make whatever you're doing better. Strengthen it. It's worth the blood, sweat, and tears. I promise you. I have done things I never thought I could do. But because I pushed out of my comfort zone and just kept working, I was able to make some shit that I'm very proud of today. So keep pushing out of your comfort zone, do the tough thing, and just make it happen, man. Make it happen on your own. 2 horror movies we don't need anymore: Exorcist and The Meg 3. That's a hot take, bro. The Exorcist needs to... Oh, so you're saying the franchise. I'm like, dude, the movie from the 70s. I'm like, dog. Like, there's some movies that, like, if they never happened, I don't even know what the state of horror would look like. Like, dude, if The Exorcist never came out in 1973, I don't even... What would religious horror even be a genre? Like, you know what I mean? Would that even be its own thing? Every religious horror has, in a way, kind of copied The Exorcist. And I mean, even movies that aren't in that realm have kind of done it too. Lee Cronin's The Mummy borrows a lot from The Exorcist. I mean, come on now, I loved that movie, but it does, it stands on the shoulders of a giant like that. If you're not crazy about the most recent Exorcist, I totally understand that. I think that movie was dumpster juice, but John, hear me out on this. Hear me out on this, dude. We got Mike Flanagan doing the next one, which comes out in March. And Mike Flanagan, he's got the Midas touch, baby. He touches things, they turn to gold. That's what he does. And I have faith this is going to be the best Exorcist movie in a very long time. So, again, if you're just like, hey, you know what, that last one was so bad, I don't even care. I respect it, but give this next one a chance. Coming up next March. I really think it's going to be something to look forward to. Trust me on this. Old Jake wouldn't steer you wrong. We need more Conjuring movies, and another Jeepers Creepers. Well, we are getting another Conjuring movie, John. We have a prequel on the way, which I think is going to follow young Ed and Lorraine Warren from part 4. So, I have not really loved the Conjuring movie in a couple movies, if I'm being honest. But man, Conjuring 4 was pretty decent. I was like, okay, shit. I had a pretty good time with that one. That was fun. I don't know if it was because you had Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga back or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I thought that one was much more solid story-wise. You know, we had some really good scares in there as well. I think James Wan ghost directed it. Lots of little things about that movie that I feel like were really fun. Froggy Fresh is saying Scream is the #1 franchise where I will say to stop making sequels. I'm open to sequels to literally everything else. Even if they're bad, I'm open to them. I just want Scream to end. I worry that we're not going to get another good Scream movie. And that's kind of where I'm at with it now too. I just, if it was a different situation, I think we could be getting some great Scream movies. I really do. I feel like Scream is a franchise that could go on forever, but it's found itself in a really dire and fucked up situation with the people that are in charge of it, which is a shame, dude. Because I think I really think Scream is a franchise like Final Destination that I feel like you could just keep making another one of these and no one would bat an eye as long as you just upheld a few certain things. There's certain things that people come to expect when it comes to a Scream movie, and 7 did not have a whole lot of those things. Final Destination, another series that I feel like we could just keep getting those and they're probably going to be great. I mean, even at its worst, Final Destination is still a ton of fun because Final Destination 4 still delivers on giving us those like Rube Goldberg style tension building sequences that lead up to some sort of outrageous and ridiculous death. All I want from a good Scream film. Dude, honestly, if you have these things, you've made a Scream film. Give me some good commentary on something going on in the space of horror. Give me a good murder mystery. That's really it. As long as if you hit on those two things, I will be happy. Scream is a franchise that doesn't necessarily have the most like outrageous kills or anything like that. It's got some pretty solid kills across I think every movie has at least one that's like pretty cool. But, it's nothing like, it doesn't have to be like Terrifier along those lines, right? It doesn't have to be the crazy practical effects showcase. It's more about the tension. It's more about the suspense. It's more about trying to figure out who's underneath the mask. That's what keeps me engaged the whole time. You got to deliver there. Like, just bottom line, you have to deliver on who your killer is. They got to figure that out for the future. Because they're probably going to keep making these movies, whether we like it or not. And to me, it's like, as long as you hit on those two things, we'll be good. We'll be fine. But y'all gotta chill, man. Y'all gotta chill. Just make some good Scream movies. Gathering Leaves, what's up, my friend? How we doing? Thank you for being a channel member. You're saying, do you think Freaky Nikki was... my friend, I don't want to talk... Oh, wait, possessed by a demon? Well, I can talk about that. No, I don't think she was possessed by a demon. I think that she was... Okay, that's not a spoiler. I can talk about that. Y'all have seen the trailers and shit. Y'all know what's going on here. I will say, without spoiling anything, that I think that Nikki was trapped inside her own body. And I think that to me is a really scary, scary thing. I don't think it was a demon. I think it was just another personality that was kind of created through the wish, essentially. So I don't want to say any more than that because I really don't want to spoil it. We don't want to talk spoilers yet. It's not a spoiler, but it lends itself to a spoilery conversation, Gathering Leaves, because I feel like that's an element of the movie that's unexpected. And I won't say, again, I won't say any more than that. So no spoilers. Jester has not seen it yet. So I don't want to say any more, but go see the movie. Please, for the love of God, don't have this one spoiled. Like, go see it. It's so good. It's so good. Saw 11 needs the detective back. Hoffman absolutely needs to come back, baby. Oh, yes. I 100% want to see more Hoffman in another movie. We got that tease at the end of Saw X that, he was going to come back for whatever the next chapter was, and that doesn't really seem to be happening at this point. What I will say is, we have Mr. James Wan working on some new sequels. Specifically put an S at the end of that word, sequel there. But I really think whatever comes next, it's probably not going to feature the accomplices, because James Wan, I don't think really likes the accomplices. I don't think he likes that concept. I really think he wants to keep it just a Jigsaw, like making some traps, people getting put through them kind of thing. Keep it simple. And I don't know how I feel about that, because I think Saw has evolved into something else, and it seems like whatever James and Lee's vision for it, that's just kind of been tampered with when more creatives have applied their own flavor to it. So I worry that Hoffman's not going to come back. I worry that Shawnee Smith's not going to come back for these new movies. But I do want to stay open-minded to whatever this might end up being. It could still be really good, you know? I mean, I love the original Saw. It's a really fucking solid movie, man. And I think that, you know, as a Saw fan, I've kind of let some of the sequels go a little higher above in my rankings rather than the original Saw. So I don't know. It's such a tough thing because me personally, I would rather get the Saw 11 that continues from where X kind of left us. I would much rather get that movie, but you know, if we also just want to do like a new storyline that just follows John, I'm also not against that, you know? Has James Wan ever talked about how he feels about Amanda as an apprentice, at least? He hasn't said directly that he hates the apprentices. At least I don't think so. Not that I've seen. But what I have seen is that he has talked about how the franchise kind of spiraled out of control. And I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I do love the soap opera energy of the Saw series. Like, I think that is really fun. And I think he wants to bring it back to like its more simplistic nature, like in the original film. So that's honestly why, you know, my head is kind of going to, I think the accomplices are out of the picture now. Especially with Lee and James both saying that they want to do something that kind of picks up right where the original left off. Like they want to do something that connects to the original film and, you know, doesn't really have anything to do with the sequels. So I really think it's going to be, a situation like that, which bums me out. You know, I will admit it bums me out, but it's still James Wan and Lee Winnell, man. They're still involved with it. It's still probably going to be good. You know, like they make some really good shit. I trust them. If it was anybody else, if it was some like dumbass newcomer who was like, we're not going to have a movie without Costas Mandylor and Shawnee Smith, I'd be like, well, good job just destroying your career with the Saw fans. But it's James Wan, it's Lee Winnell. They created this series in the first place. They have that kind of right to do something really ambitious and different from what we expect. Brandon is saying, do you think Spiral from the Book of Saw could lend itself to being a streaming detective series? I think Spiral is underrated, man. I don't think it's that. A lot of people hate that movie. I don't think it's that bad. I watched it again pretty recently too, and I really like it. I think it's fun. It's not the best Saw movie by any means, but it's got some great kills, and I think it's got some pretty good characters. The twist does not deliver at all, but everything else does. That's kind of how I see it. Eric is saying that we're gonna do an Obsession spoiler stream. I think after next weekend, let's say like come Monday, we'll openly talk about Obsession spoilers on these streams. That's what I'm gonna say. So go see it this weekend. Gathering Leaves is saying, can I post spoilers for Milk and Cereal? Yes, yeah, those movies are more than a year old. If you haven't seen it at this point, come on now. Go see Milk and Cereal. It's free here on YouTube. You can watch it right now. It's so good. But yeah, you can post spoilers for that. You're also asking if anyone here is looking forward to the new Insidious film. Absolutely, yes. I've had a lot of comments from folks who are like, dude, let the series die. And I'm just like, okay, but this one looks really good, dude. Like Insidious 6 looks fucking killer. Maybe it's just me, but I was really impressed by the trailer. I thought it looked killer. I thought it looked really brutal. Had some nice little scares in there. And that's really all I want from a new Insidious film. So I think this is going to deliver. We got Lin Shaye back as, you know, Ghost Elise. I think this is going to be fun, dude. I'm really excited for it. YB's got to go. Thanks for being with us, dude. Appreciate you. Chris Rock trying to act tough is hilarious when you keep him in mind as more of a comedian, says Stefan. I mean, that's totally fair. He really sells me on being a more hard-boiled cop, though. I will be honest. I don't know. I bought into it. It worked for me. Zeke was I really liked Zeke as a character. He felt very real. You know, he was saying speaking a whole lot of shit, but I feel like that's kind of gives me the vibe of like a hard-boiled cop. I'm more looking forward to the Backrooms movie, dude. Totally fair. Definitely really excited for that. That's going to be awesome. I think that's going to be one of the better horror films of the year. Hearing some really good reviews about that one too from people who got to see it during the premiere. So I'm definitely really excited. You're not really huge into the Insidious franchise anymore. It's always just been one of my favorites. That was one of the first big horror movies, I think, to scare me. I snuck into that. I didn't sneak into it. My friends got to sneak my younger friends into it. Like when I was 13 years old, like I could see some PG-13 movies now, and my younger friends were not. we got them into that movie. It was very funny. But we were all just like pissing our pants scared, especially after that. That's, you know the scene. You know the scene in the original Insidious. It's so good. I love those movies. They're so much fun to me. They're always going to be, I'm the guy who's always going to be supporting the new Insidious flick. Like, I will be there day one for whatever else they do. So much fun. Such a great time. I grew up with those movies, man. You enjoyed the first 3. That's it. There's only 5 of them, in all fairness. there's only 5 of them. 4 and 5 aren't much to write home about. I think 4's got some pretty good scares, though. That's what I'll say about it. I think 4's got some pretty scary moments. Only Insidious 2 is terrible. I didn't like Insidious Chapter 2 for the longest time, and the more I watch it, John, the more it's really grown on me. I will say that. It was at like the bottom of my rankings for a long time, but it's significantly moved up. You haven't even seen the 4th one? Oh, dude. The 4th one, I check it out. It's solid. The 5th one's like whatever, but the 4th one I feel like is pretty fun. It takes place in a prison, which is really cool. And it's got a brand new demon to it. Honestly, out of all the sequel demons, I think that's 4 is the best one, like easy. Keyface is fucking creepy, dude. I might watch that movie again tonight. I really like Insidious Chapter 4. I like that movie way more than it deserves, though. I will say that. The story, not very well written. There's this whole plot in the middle of the movie that kind of takes its time. It's meandering a little bit. But I really like the very beginning and the very ending of that one. I feel like there's some really cool stuff going on in that movie. Yo, the Alpha Warlock is with us saying, hang on, lost it. Just got back from Obsession. Was terrifying, but I don't think it was for me. Seeing Passenger Thursday and excited for Backrooms. Oh, man, that's a shame. Well, you know how I feel about it. I loved it, but I'm sorry you weren't crazy about it. That's a shame. Stefan is saying I'm the same with the 4th. It's not bad. It's just kind of meh. The Red Door was okay, just kind of disappointing. Yeah, dude, I feel the exact same way. 4 it's good, but it's like, it's meh. Yeah. And then 5 is like, Patrick Wilson directing was awesome though. I agree. Patrick Wilson stars in that. He directed it and he also wrote the song for the end credits. So listen, Patty Wills, he's going through it on Insidious Chapter 5, man. That's really impressive. Gotta say. And you can tell his directing was good because I feel like a lot of the characters are really solid in part 5. It's more so just the story that I wasn't crazy about. I just don't think it has a very good script. Brandon the Beldam is saying kind of a take, but Insidious is greater than Scream as a franchise. Nowadays, I will say Insidious. Damn, that's crazy, dude. I don't know if I personally feel that way, but I do love Insidious. I think that those movies are really fun. But Scream has just got such an impact on the genre, dude. I don't think I can rank it below Insidious, at least for me. I'm getting a call. Yo, you're live on the air of the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel. How are you?
You're still live?
You're damn right I am. Oh, you're good. No worry. Don't dox yourself. But yeah, it's all good.
I won't say where I am.
That's all good. That's all good. I can't wait to see you, and I love you very much.
Love you too.
Make it home safe, okay?
Okay.
All right. I will talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Getting back to it, though. My fiance Madison, everybody. She's coming home to eat some pickles. Ben is hanging out with us again, throwing $2.50 out there. Thank you for the support again, as always, Ben. Really appreciate that. The Slayer 1982 and Madhouse tonight. That's a command. That's not even a suggestion. He's saying, tonight, watch these damn movies. All right, fair enough. Hang on. Let's look these up. Which one do I want to watch more? The Slayer 1982. It's on Tubi. That's how you know it's good. Something Unseen stalks a haunted artist, her husband, and 2 others on an island. Ooh, that might be what I want to watch. I'm really feeling island horror, dude. I have been listening to the Zombie soundtrack all day today, and I've just been thinking about that movie, dude. I love that one so much. Tropical Set horror with like lots of blood and guts. I really want to make a movie like that one day. Man, I don't know. That would be really fucking cool. And what was the other one? Madhouse, like 81 or something? Madhouse 1981. Let's look this up. Let's see what this is all about. The Madhouse 1981. I really should be like a Grindhouse announcer. Ooh, this has got a really cool poster to it. I love that. Creepy girl with a knife. Loving this, dude. 26 on Rotten Tomatoes. That's how you know it's good. A deformed escapee flees from a mental institution and organizes a morbid birthday surprise for her twin sister. Fuck, dude. Both of these sound kind of good. Shit, man. They're both on Tubi. You know what? I might watch these tonight. That sounds kind of good. I have to edit my next Dexter video, but like, I might put that on. I might just put that on and see what's up. Ben, thank you for the recommendations. I'm absolutely going to get into it. Those both sound awesome. Guys, if you like, dude, I haven't even seen this movie yet, Madhouse, but the fucking poster is killer. Oh my God. I would hang that up and I haven't even seen the damn movie. Beer Belly Angler is saying Obsession is the best of 2026 so far. I went through a relationship like that and it was extra nerve-wracking for me to watch. I've been seeing a lot of people saying that. They're like, dude, that was too much for me, man. I went through a relationship that was kind of like that. I couldn't get through that one. I was like, that was too much. I'm like, dude, shit. I didn't even think about that, coming out of the movie. I was like, oh man, yeah, that's kind of brutal. I've seen a lot of people have different takes on it from different perspectives, which has been really interesting. I'm seeing like a lot of, a lot of that. I'm seeing like a lot of people who are like, oh my God, like really connected to this one, especially because, Bear was definitely the villain in the movie. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about that and how like they've related to the past experiences, whatever. And I think that's really, that's always so interesting to me. Whenever I hear people who are like, man, I don't want to see movies have commentary or anything like that, I'm just like, that to me is just saying you don't want this movie to have humanity to it, I've never understood that. To me, I connect to something so well like Obsession because it has so much humanity to it. There is so much that is holding up a mirror to society and people and how we act. That to me is just another thing that just helps me engage with a movie. I don't know. I love horror movies to death. I think when a movie is just senseless violence, though, I can't get into it as much. I need that relatability factor. I need to relate to what's going on the screen in some way. And something like Obsession, you have something so fucking brutal in that movie. And I'm not going to say what, but there's one of the most brutal moments on film. I'll go so far as to say that. And, it's not even like anything that would compare to Terrifier on paper, but in the moment, that's how it feels. And I think a lot of that is because you are so sucked into that world because of the humanity. I guess I've never really understood that. Like, to me, like if a movie is social commentary, I can relate a little more. I can really be more in the character's shoes. Therefore, the scary shit just hits way harder. Again, there is nothing in Obsession that I think would even remotely stand up to something like a Terrifier film, but I find it scarier because of the tone, because it is so relatable. It's so grounded. I can connect to a lot of those characters because they feel like they actually exist in our world. So yeah, I couldn't agree more. I feel like it really does hit harder. It's just such a fucking scary movie because those people feel like they actually exist. Austin Allman is throwing $2 out there saying, who is your favorite Deadite? That is such a good question. Oh man, who's my favorite Fuck. I mean, like Linda, dude. Like it's gotta be Linda. Right? Hang on. Let me look at all the Deadites. I mean, Cheryl though, dude. We're gonna get you. Dude, that's so fucking scary. Shit, man. There's so many good Deadites. And I feel like in pretty much every movie, there's some sort of great Deadite performance too. Can I just say that? I think that, Ash as a Deadite is fucking great. I love, our maggot mommy in Evil Dead Rise. Mia in Evil Dead 2013. Fuck all the Deadites in Evil Dead 2013. Everybody besides like the main dude who like becomes a Deadite in the last second, or you know what I mean. But he has like a second of screen time as a Deadite. Shit. That's really tough. I'm gonna go with Cheryl just because I feel like that is the thing that really stood out maybe the most to me about Evil Dead. Fuck, I'm like looking at all these different, I'm looking at pictures of all of them and I'm just like, I don't know. They're all so good. So many good ones. Linda and Cheryl and Mia are mine. Yeah, me too. All of them. Just all of them. You're torn between Deadite Mia and Maggot Mommy from Rise. So, dude, so good. So good. Alpha Warlock is saying, I'm super sensitive to sound, so I think Obsession had me overstimulated at times, but I still enjoyed it. Yeah, no, it's scary, dude. It's a really scary movie. It's not, I guess it won't be for everybody in that case, but I'm always looking for what's the thing that's going to fuck me up the most, and Obsession fucked me up for sure. Austin, thank you so much for the 2, though. I really do appreciate you. And I love me some Deadites. I can't wait for Evil Dead Burn. Hopefully we have some new favorite Deadites to add to the catalog. IDK Productions. My dude, I love your profile picture. Is that specifically the jack-o'-lantern from Halloween? I'm pretty sure it is. That's very fucking cool. What's up, my guy? Scream 8 is gonna be peak. I like it. We don't even know anything about it yet, though. We don't even know anything about Scream 8 yet, pretty much. Nothing's like confirmed. The writers are confirmed. That's all we got. Are you excited about the writers, though? The twins writing it? I can't remember their names. Totally forgot. Totally slipping me. I know the Soskas are possibly directing it. Not confirmed yet, but let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts there. Necro McAnimal is saying no dastardly distractions depriving Dexter. I am trying so hard to edit. I've been nonstop editing for months now. Like I have not had a day off. I don't even remember. I don't remember the last time I really just took time off. It has been editing. Without a Scream film on the horizon, things are dicey. Let's just call it what it is. Not having consistent Scream updates. It's been tough. So we're making do though. We're making it happen, but it is just it's a little tougher than usual. That's just what it is. But I do appreciate the support on Patreon, Necro, if you're still with us. It really does mean a lot, and I hope you're enjoying the Dexter videos because they have been a ton of fun to make. So I have part 5 or season 2, episode 5 shot. I just got to finish the edit on it, and then it will be up. It takes me about 10 hours from start to finish, from watching the episode to having it fully edited for every single episode. So it does take a minute, but it's worth it. I think they are some of the best videos on this page. So if you haven't watched them, please check them out because they're very fun. they're very fucking fun, and I think it's one of the best series on the whole channel. I have an ad on my own damn video. This is crazy. Do you think that Steve would have liked? Oh, you mean Steven? Would Steven have liked Scream 7? I think he would have because it has Stu in it. I think he would have liked that Stu was a little more involved in this movie, but I don't know if he would have loved it. I think he would have had his criticisms, but I think he would have absolutely praised that Matthew Lillard was more involved with this one than any other sequel. So that's my thoughts. I can't speak for him, of course, but I think that because it was more involved with Stu, he would have had a good time with it. Do you think Stu is still dead? It doesn't really matter what I think. I just want Stu to come back because we were all promised a Stu movie and it didn't happen. So I at this point, if you're going to do more legacy nostalgia bait kind of movies, just give me Stu at this point. Who cares? It's not going to ruin anything at this point. I just make it happen. Just do it. Who cares? I feel like, if you're going to make another movie with the same approach as 7, where the only thing you care about is nostalgia and legacy, the Stu movie is right in front of you. It's like, it's right there. Just make it. That's an easy win. That is an easy W, Scream. You'll make $250 million at the box office if you do that. So I say just make it. Just run it up. Make sure you don't burn yourself out editing, though. Always good to take a little break. I'm trying. I just I really have a fire lit under my ass. I think recently. I think that's what it is. I just I'm getting to this point where I'm like, I've done YouTube in September. It'll be 7 years since I started this page, and by I was really hoping that around this time I'd be hitting 100,000 subscribers, and I'm just not there. So I'm just like, you know what? I need to start. I really need to elevate this. This needs to be the horror page that I want it to be. So this channel will hit 100,000 subscribers. It will happen. We are actively on our way. We're almost halfway there, in fact. So it's going to happen. It's going to take some time. And I'm just like, I don't know what it is the last couple of months. I'm just like, I think I really wanted Scream 7 to be something bigger for this page, and it really wasn't. So I'm really working to get to 100,000, whatever I got to do. So I'm busting it out, trying to make it happen. And I just appreciate you guys for helping support the page, dude. It really does mean a lot. These live streams really do mean a lot to me. And I'm just glad that y'all want to hear me yap still. It really does mean a lot. So, we will get to 100,000 subscribers eventually on this page. It will happen. But I do also want to, there's other things I want to do even besides that. So I'm just very motivated. I'm very motivated these days. And I really just want to make all this shit happen. Stefan, you're so kind. Respect that you're so dedicated. Hope you know we never take you for granted. Well, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I want to be doing this until I'm 90. That's the goal. And maybe I'll hit 1 million subscribers by then. But I literally all I've ever wanted from this page, 100,000 subscribers. I just want that silver plaque. That's all. That's the goal. That's if that happens, I'm a happy camper. I look at this as a successful venture. I've spent my entire 20s working on this page, so we better get there. At this point, we better get there. But I've had a lot of fun doing this, and I'm just very grateful to all of you for allowing me to do it. So it's because of you guys. I can work as hard as I want on this kind of thing, but it really is because y'all enjoy it that I can continue to do it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us. I really do appreciate it. Jake, what would you think about the first Scream getting a Stu Macher spin-off movie? That's definitely been a question. Definitely something we've talked about doing more with the original killers, just in some way. I just think again, if the franchise, if the approach for Scream 8 is just going to be nostalgia, if that's all we care about, I think there's nothing wrong with doing Stu Macher as alive at that point. I mean, are we really going to complain about logic when we have, every single person from the franchise coming back as AI in the last movie at this point? No, that's just, it's an invalid argument at this point. If you're going to really complain about logic in the Scream franchise after 7 came out, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you at this point. I really just think if the only thing you want to offer up is nostalgia, just bring back Stu. So that's what I think moving into the next movie. That'll make a gajillion dollars. 90-year-old Jake reviewing Scream 20. I'll be there, baby. Well, I'll be there. That's too damn funny. Obsession is the best. Enough said, says Perry Moberg. Dude, thank you for being a channel member, and I'm so glad you liked Obsession. I've been really excited for this one for a while. Ever since I saw Milk and Cereal, ever since I got turned on to That's a Bad Idea, I'm like, dude, these guys are really doing something special here. Their shorts are super duper cinematic, look really fucking cool. And then, I heard that they were, cutting first look deals with Blumhouse and Focus Features and all this. And it's like, that is so exciting. Capstone, that's another big one too. But I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy for those guys. They're so crazy talented. I've been following them for a couple of years now. I found their page when they posted the Talk to Me short. I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but they did when Talk to Me came out, they did a short, kind of doing a parody of that. And I'm like, oh my God, these guys are fucking hilarious. So I've been following them ever since then. I saw The Chair when it dropped, that's such a great short. Milk and Cereal, which was kind of blew me away. Really fucking solid found footage flick. And yeah, I don't know, man. I just, lots of really good stuff coming from them. I can't wait to see what else they make. Obsession was amazing. We have Anything But Ghosts on the horizon and a new Texas Chainsaw. It's going to be a lot of good stuff for sure. If the One Wish Willow existed in real life, would anyone use it? So yes, it would be my answer, but with a stipulation. So, Curry Barker had an interview recently talking about the One Wish Willow, about what this thing is and why, and how he kind of views it essentially. And he's like, I don't think there's anything evil about it. I don't think it's a cursed thing. You know, that's not how he looks at it. He just looks at the wish that Bear made specifically as cursed and fucked up. You know, it's like you wished for someone to, you know, to love you. You know, you wished for someone to fall in love with you, even if that person didn't necessarily feel that way, or whatever the situation was. And that kind of that's a really fucked up thing, as we find out in the movie. But I think that, you know, the proof of this is in the pudding, because again, no spoilers, but you know what, I'm not even going to say that. But there's another thing to Obsession. There's something that happens later on. That's all I'm going to say. That it's just like, oh. So it's not, the toy isn't like fucked up or cursed. You know, that's just that's straight from Curry. That's straight from him talking about it. So I would wish for just something a little more innocent than what Bear wished for. That's all I'm going to say, because I'm like, I shouldn't talk about that. That's a really crazy moment. Brandon the Beldam is saying, I like nostalgia, but I'm getting burned on writers not putting the effort into new movies by banking on nostalgia. I won't reward people for that. It's not even like simply nostalgia. It's lazy. It's lazy nostalgia is what it is. Like, let's just say there was a craze over oranges all of a sudden. Everybody just fucking loves oranges. We're buying them up. We're eating them. We love seeing them and things. You know, if I'm gonna make a movie and I'm like, well, people love oranges, and all I do is I have the characters being like, aren't oranges so great? Let's eat them. Isn't that awesome? That's lazy. That's just, you're throwing something in there that you know people like. And that's what Scream 7's doing. You know what I mean? We have that whole sequence where all these different characters come up on screen, and it's like, it's me, Sydney. Remember me from the old movies? You know, it's like you're just throwing up things on screen that people like about the old movies. That's just lazy, is what it is. That's just lazy and not very well written. You know, you can do nostalgia great, and the original Scream is an excellent example of that. It's a movie that calls back to the original Halloween, to the golden age of slashers, where in the mid-90s, we're past that prime. You know what I mean? I think that Scream, the original movie, is like one of the best examples of using nostalgia to kind of sugarcoat your movie, but in a way that actually has some substance. Like, that's a movie that looks at Halloween and is like, this movie's pretty great, and here's why it's great. We're gonna kind of fuck around with that a little bit. You know, it's a great example of why it's a great example of just a love letter to other slasher movies. It shows you a final girl character who isn't exactly the same thing as Laurie Strode, and in fact does something that would go against what apparently made Laurie Strode live through that movie and still get out alive. I mean, that says so much, but while being so subtle. I think that's kind of brilliant. So I think, you know, for Scream to be reduced down to rubble essentially by just having these like different, just having references, and that's it, not actually being willing to say anything. I just think the franchise has lost its nutsack. The franchise has just lost its balls, man. It's been chopped up down there, I think. John, the second one made me the first one a movie with a what? First one a movie within a movie and started fresh, though. I don't know what you're talking about. JPR is saying the amazing concept of future obsession movies is freaking crazy. All you need is the One Wish Willow, and the rest of the movie is history. So many possible plots off of so many possible wishes. We're hearing that Curry wants to do like an anthology series where other people, you know, make some fucked up wishes. And it's really interesting to me. I'm not necessarily against it, but I also don't think Obsession needs a sequel. Like, you know, I've had people, you know, throw concepts at me of like, well, here's where you could pick up the story with Nikki and all that. And I'm like, I kind of don't want to know, because whatever you could write in a story, you know, about whatever happens to Nikki, and I won't say, I'm spoiling the movie. I'm just going to shut up. I'm not going to say anymore. But if you made all I'm going to say is if you made a continuation to Obsession, I don't think it would add anything to the original movie. But I loved it, and I want more from it. If we can get, here's what I'll say. I loved it, and if we get more from it, I'll see it, but we don't need any more from it. That's what I meant to say. Words are hard. Words are hard. Okay, let's get back to it. Are you talking about Winnie the Pooh? Yeah, the Winnie the Pooh movies are great. What would Halloween 2 81 look like had it not imitated the success of Friday the 13th, instead maintaining the dread the first film had? Well, that's interesting. I think it likely would have been a different kind of story. You know, I think the John really didn't want to continue the story from the first movie. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess if it wasn't really trying to go off of, I don't know, was it imitating Friday the 13th? It's more bombastic. It's less creeping dread. It's more just explosive in your face. I still think it's fun. But I understand why John Carpenter hates it and why it doesn't need to exist. I think that if you wanted to make a true sequel to Halloween, you just have like pick up sometime later, maybe another Halloween, and Michael is escaping again. It's kind of the same setup as the original with different people, different results, different kind of movie altogether. I think picking up from the original maybe wasn't the best idea, because I think the idea of he could still just be out there anywhere, that's way scarier, you know? Again, Halloween 2 answers that question and almost like kind of ruins that ending. You know, you don't need any more than that. Just the idea that Michael is out there anywhere. He could be behind you in the theater seat right now. You know, that's way scarier than actually knowing. What would you think about a spin-off of Obsession? Yeah, I mean, I'm down. I'll see it, dude. You know, I'm not even gonna lie, this is instantly one of my favorite horror movies, dude. I loved Obsession through and through. It is my kind of horror film from start to finish. If we do more with it, I will absolutely see it, but I don't necessarily need it. You know, again, it's one of those stories where I'm just like, this is so well done. That's good. You know, that's totally solid. It is also, you know, the other thing too is like the monkey paw story, like it has been done to death. And I worry that if you do too much with Obsession, it could just immediately become stale, like with whatever you do next. Like, I mean, we have seen the concept of Make-A-Wish and it gets all fucked up. You know, we have seen that kind of story told multiple different times across a whole bunch of different franchises in all kinds of different ways, tones, whatever. I worry that there's not too much more to mine from that. Like Obsession is a really rare situation where we've, you know, kind of conjured up this familiar concept and done something new with it. That's no easy task. And to make like 10 episodes of a series that is all fresh ideas revolving around something that again has been done so many times before. That's not going to be an easy thing to pull off successfully to the same quality of that film. So I'm definitely open to it, but it's something that I'm like almost a little wary about. I'm like, I don't want y'all to ruin that. You know, we got something great here with this movie. Almost just leave it how it is. I brought this up in my video today about how all these like one-off continuations are getting these like prequel movies, and I'm like, man, I don't think we need these movies. I don't think we need these continuations to movies. I don't know. There's like a Weapons prequel coming. There's a Longlegs sequel. I'm like, I don't think we need those. Like those are one-off movies. Not everything needs to be a franchise, you know? That's kind of how I feel about it. Franchises, I feel like, should come from movies that have a really good flow and format that you could easily like replicate in another movie. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of my big thoughts on it, I feel. Like if you got a really good flow and vibe about your movie, yeah, dude, sure. Run it back with some new characters or new situation, whatever. Or maybe you've created a really cool universe that lends itself to exploring, like the Alien or Predator franchise, for instance. You know, something that like the first movie obviously doesn't get all the way into in both regards. A lot of reasons that a movie should become a franchise, but some films are just really great little standalones that don't need a continuation. The movie Together, I think from last year, is a great example of something that I would never want any more of a continuation from ever again, because like I just don't think the metaphor would work beyond the story of that film, and the ending is a testament to that. And I won't say, if you haven't seen Together, I won't say anymore, but that is a movie where like you simply could not do any more. Like even if you tried, there's nothing else you could possibly do to continue that onward. Great movie. I loved it. Not a criticism of it, but it Together does not need to be a franchise. It is a solid ass movie, and I'm happy with it. Together is tremendous. It was really good. Tales from the Crypt from 1972 had a gruesome take on the monkey's paw. I haven't seen that in forever. Oh my god, that's a fun one. Shit, so there's so many good old movies, man. I'm discovering like I was reading up on Tobe Hooper movies, and there's a movie that he made that I have never seen before. It's like Invaders from Mars or something along those lines, and I'm just like, I have to see this movie. There's a ton of people involved with this where I'm just like, this is crazy. Yeah, Karen Black is the star of it. She's great. Stan Winston did the effects. The script came from Dan O'Bannon. I'm just like, I gotta see this fucking movie. I don't care that it has a low rating on Rotten Tomatoes. This is probably gonna be awesome. So yeah, there's so many movies out there, man. There's so many great movies out there. It's just like, I gotta sit down and watch some of these. I feel like I wish I was the guy at the end of the Twilight Zone, that Twilight Zone episode who's like, I got all the time in the world now to read my books, and then his glasses break. I wish I was that guy, but I had my glasses and I had a whole stack full of movies. That would be great. I wish I could just do that for like a couple years and then come back. That would be awesome. I just want to catch up on a lot of weird movies I haven't seen. But anyways, I'm going to try to do that now. So thank you guys all so much for hanging out with us. I greatly appreciate you a bunch. I'm going to watch some crazy movies. And we will be live again, hopefully Friday night with a big... I want to do another bracket stream, and I'm still putting something together. So nothing announced yet. But in the meantime, please check out some new videos on this page. We have a new Dexter video dropping on Thursday. Check out Killjoy Jake clips, where we got new videos going up over there like every single day, which is crazy. So go subscribe. Check it out. It's awesome. And Human Egg Productions. We're posting some new stuff there very soon. Lots of crazy stuff is coming. So Human Egg Productions, subscribe there as well. So much love to you all. Thank you for hanging out with me for the last 2 hours. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Bye-bye.